Welcome to MMA Therapy, your fix for all things MMA. I'm your host, James Mon. We got a great show for you tonight. We're going to be interviewing Dustin Short, getting ready to make his professional debut. Then we're going to switch over to AFS's own Mihalec. She's getting ready to fight coming up on April the 11th. I'm going to have all your news on what's going on in the UFC and a preview of the Hard Rock 71 show. So let's get this fix started with this interview from Dustin Short. This is James Mon from MMA Therapy. I'm here live at AFS Academy where Dustin Short just got done training for his pro debut. Dustin, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Man, you went 8-0 in your amateur career, and it's a very good amateur career. Now you've decided to make your pro debut. What made you make this decision?
When I was training for my last fight, we were just in here training one day, and my teacher, Scott, just said, this will probably be the last amateur fight I'll have you do. You'll probably be turning pro after this. And after my last fight, they told me about this fight coming up in April, so that's pretty much what happened.
That sounds pretty awesome, dude. Now, you've had several amateur title fights, and amateurs get a little nervous and a lot of stress for a title fight. How does that compare to the stress that you're going through now thinking about your pro debut?
I don't think it'll be a whole lot different. I definitely don't want to lose my first pro fight, and pretty much the only difference is going to be I'm going to be getting, this one has money on the line, and that's not really the reason that I fight. So I fight because I like doing it. I don't fight just because I want to get paid. So I don't think there'll be a whole lot of difference in it.
I got you. Now, are you doing anything different this camp than you normally do for an amateur camp since it's your first pro camp?
We'll probably start doing training for 5-minute rounds instead of 3 and stuff like that. But that would probably be it, and training elbows where I'll be able to do that now. But that'll be about it.
I got you. Now, as of right now, they do not have you an opponent for this debut. Does that make it harder for you to train, or do you train the same for every opponent? How's that working out?
I pretty much train the same for every opponent, unless there's a guy that wants to take me down a whole lot. I'll train to sprawl or train off my back, or if it's a guy that wants to stand with me, I'll work my stand up more. But I train everything all the time.
So pretty much there's no game plan. You're just out there to do your fight, and whatever happens, happens, right?
Yeah, I go out there and just fight natural.
That's cool, man. A lot of people's like that. Now, here at AFS Academy, they've got a strong tradition of pro fighters, with winning records, and there's a lot on stake for this school. Does that put any additional pressure on you, or it's just about you?
I wouldn't say it's more pressure, but I definitely want to be able to keep up with them. I don't want to be the weak link or anything like that. So.
Well, man, I've enjoyed watching your amateur career, and I can't wait to watch you turn pro. But this is where I'm going to give you a chance to give your shout-outs to your teammates, training partners, or sponsors, or anybody that's helped you get ready for this fight.
Just everybody here at AFS, my teacher, Scott Elliott, and all the fighters, Adam Fritz, Brandon Campbell, Gina Begley, Tyler Black, Linda Mihalec, Mike McCannon, I think Emily Bartrey. I think that's it. I might be forgetting somebody, but.
All right, man. Well, I look forward to seeing you make your debut. This is James Mon for MMA Therapy, giving you your fix for MMA. That was Dustin Short. I can't wait to watch him be mixing it up in the pros. Now we're going to change pace and go to the WMMA side of things with this next exciting interview with Linda Mihalec. This is James Mon from MMA Therapy. I'm here live at AFS Academy where Linda Mihalec just got done training for her amateur debut. Linda, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, normally I don't interview people who's not been in the cage yet, but this school has such a record for producing top female fighters. I figured I was going to have to come down here before everybody else got the interview and be your first interview. So first off, congratulations on that. But second off, how is the pressure of trying to live up to the legend of this school?
Well, first off, I think it's very exciting. I don't feel pressure of living up to the legend of the school. I think this school has a great history, And I'm excited because I feel like all of the pressure is taken off of me. I feel like I am just training, and everybody else has, all my teammates around me have taken all of the pressure of living up to anything off of me. Everybody around me is taking care of everything. Once they found out I was fighting, they took it upon themselves to help me in any way that they could with training, with what I needed to work on, and in any setting me up with what I needed to get done and everything. So I feel like everybody around me is helping me so much that I don't have a lot to worry about aside from just making sure that I'm training day to day and working to improve myself, and that's all I really have to worry about is, and I feel like that's what makes this school have such a great history. That's why the school has such a great history, is because it doesn't necessarily put pressure on the fighters to produce great results. It gives them an environment so that they naturally just produce great results.
That sounds awesome, and I wouldn't expect nothing else out of this school. So tell me, what got you into the sport of MMA?
I actually started out, I'm a runner. I enjoy running. I run marathons regularly. I'm always training for some kind of marathon. I run 6 days a week usually. So I run a lot. I do a lot of lifting. I was looking for some kind of cross training. I swim, so I do some triathlons here and there. I was looking for cross training because that's what keeps you injury free. I thought, you know, why don't I get into kickboxing? You don't see out of shape fighters. That looks interesting. And I thought, well, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. Let me learn how to do it right. So I started going. I thought I'll find a school, an MMA school, and then from there, I actually fell in love with jiu-jitsu over kickboxing, surprisingly enough. Just fell in love with it and I've done a couple of grappling tournaments. I haven't competed a whole lot, but I just absolutely love the sport, and I go to Muay Thai classes regularly and jiu-jitsu, and I have now picked up on wrestling. And I just enjoy the sport in general and the challenge that it brings to combine everything together. It's taken everything athletically to a totally different level. I was just talking with one of my teammates that said, you know, oh, you run 26 miles and you're out of breath, you're tired. It's a totally different sport and a different challenge mentally and physically. It's exhausting, and I love the challenge of the sport, and that's what really attracted me and drew me in deeper and deeper. Was I realized at first I just wanted something for fitness, and then I really got attracted to the challenge. Jiu-jitsu is mentally as a challenging sport. Thinking ahead to the next step, what's coming next, where you have to be in the next move. And then physically, it's exhausting to be wrestling with somebody. Kickboxing, when you're, sparring, is physically exhausting. It takes your cardio to another level in a different way, and I love the challenge of it.
That sounds awesome. And, it's not a surprise to me that you fell in love with jiu-jitsu. I boxed for years and was used to that, and the first time I ever did jiu-jitsu, I was in love. And I agree, it's like human chess to me. And you got to think 3 moves ahead. If I'm going to finish this person, I'm going to do this, but I'm going to finish him 3 moves down the road by doing this. And I agree 100%. Now, how's your camp going for this fight?
Right now, it's going great. I've been able to train twice a day. Every day right now, and it's going really well. I usually am able to run or swim in the morning and lift and come to class in the evening and do my open gym and sparring on the weekends, and everything seems to be going great. I'm constantly working, constantly improving. I feel like I have all kinds of things to work on as a brand new fighter, going into my first fight. of course you find that there's not just one hole or one thing that you have to work on. You realize there's everything that you have to work on, and I think that's the beauty of the sport, is that I imagine even after you've made your pro debut, you feel like you have so many things to work on. You've got, maybe you're a professional and you're 9-0. You probably still have so many things to work on, and that's what I think I really love about it, is that I've constantly challenged. I have so many things to work on, and I have so much progress. I can measure my progress, and I can come in and I can see myself. I can say, do you know what, I need to work on movement more today. Maybe I didn't get it the way I'm not moving like, Muhammad Ali, but I've got a little bit more head movement than I did the day before. And it's just the little steps that, you really get excited about. So I'm, progressing, slowly, but I feel really comfortable and confident with what's going on.
That sounds good. Now, in the amateurs, a lot of times you're going to have an opponent get hurt, an opponent back out. Something happened last minute, and getting a last minute opponent change. How are you going to adapt to that, and how are you going to handle the pressure of the last minute change of opponent?
I'm not at all worried about a last-minute change of opponent, because at this point I'm training for myself. I'm just training to improve myself. I know what I'm good at, what I feel like I need to improve on, and I'm just training to be the best fighter that I can be on April 11th. And that's what I'm going to walk in with. And whoever is there, I will bring the best fighter that I could be on April 11th.
That sounds awesome. Now, I know you've not even stepped into the cage yet, and you don't know exactly what it's going to be like. But as of right now, what are your plans for MMA?
I'm not sure as of right now, honestly. I hope to continue this. I really do think I enjoy the sport. I enjoy what I think I will enjoy fighting. I haven't had the opportunity to step in the cage yet, so I don't know the feeling of it, the nerves that you get. I know it's a totally different feeling from what I'm told, than grappling or a straight Muay Thai match or something like that. But the training I love, and I love the challenge of combining the sports. So I imagine that I will be continuing fighting, and I hope that I will be continuing it.
That sounds awesome. This is where I give you your chance to thank your teammates, training partners, or sponsors, or anybody else who's helped you get ready for this fight.
I just want to thank the team here at AFS who's helped me get ready for the fight. Every single person. Gina Bagley has really helped me get ready for the fight. Sifu here, Adam Fritz are, my trainers. But also every single teammate that I have has helped me. Every time I spar, they pick out, if I'm dropping my hand, they let me know. Every single person has helped me get ready. Every single teammate. And that's what's great about this team, is that nobody takes it easy on you. Everybody lets you know.
And that sounds awesome. Well, I just want to say it was wonderful to interview you, and as a coach, I really appreciate the passion that you're bringing into this sport. So I look forward to watching you fight. This is James Mon for MMA Therapy, and we'll see you at the fights. That was Linda Mihalec, a very passionate fighter. I can't wait to see where her career takes her in the sport of MMA. Now we're going to change pace to the big show a little bit and talk about what's going on in the UFC. This is James Mon from MMA Therapy. We're here to talk about what's going on in the UFC. A lot of great fights have been happening, a lot of action's been happening. I've been very excited with a lot going on. We're just coming off a UFC 185, 2 new champions crowned there, one of which was a surprise to me, the other one I kind of seen coming. Just in the month of April, there's going to be 4 UFC cards, so things are really starting to heat up. But then you go into the summer, and things are through the charts. You'll You got Weidman and Belfort coming up. You've got McGregor and Aldo, which is, the tour is just enough to drive a person crazy. I think McGregor stole Aldo's belt at one of the press conferences today, and I mean, it's just getting more and more comical. But I mean, that fight is going to be really crazy. One of the fights I'm really looking forward to this summer is going to be Miesha Tate versus Jessica Eye. I'm really looking forward to this. Jessica Eye's been on a tear lately, and I'd really like to see her make a run. And with the win over Miesha Tate, that should put her in title contention for sure. Speaking of the champion, you know, she's at no loss of enemies and people lining up to get in her way. Recently this week, we had Chris Cyborg announcing that she's dropping to 135 and that she's going to retire Ronda Rousey just like she did Gina Carano. So, you know, everything's just lining up, and it's going to be an exciting summer for the UFC. I look forward to everything, and I hope you guys too. Stay tuned to MMA Therapy for all your UFC coverage. This is James Mon from MMA Therapy. This is James Mon from MMA Therapy. You know, we're all about the local MMA, and, you know, we love going out to the shows. One show that I'm looking forward to covering is coming up in just about a week. Hard Rock 71, Expo 5 in Louisville. It's a great venue, open bar. Gotta love the place, but I can't wait to get there and check it out. But we're going to preview those fights right now. Fight number 1, we're going to have Tyler Jones versus Brandon Morton. That's going to be a 155 amateur fight. Then we'll have Zach Odd versus Austin Jaggers. That's going to be a heavyweight fight. Aaron Garces versus Brandon Campbell from AFS. That's going to be a fight at 125. Can't wait to watch Brandon fight again. Theo Campbell versus Lewis Witt. That's a 205 fight. Dale Sally versus AJ Jenkins. That's a 205 fight. Marcel Jackson versus Marcus Hudson. That's a 185 fight. Justin Parks versus Zachariah Davis. A 145 fight. Stephen Francis versus Jeremy Philippot or Mike Canavan. Not sure why he's got 2 opponents there, but one of them's going to fight him. Rocky Pinkston versus Jason George, heavyweight fight. Calvin Nevias versus Nick Malpin, 155 fight. Cody Hartman versus Ben Walker, heavyweight fight. David Pinkston versus Jeremy Durham, heavyweight fight. Jason Perry versus Terry Couture, 140 fight. Michael Taylor versus Brian McDowell, 170 title fight. Jordan Robinson versus Lance Lawrence. That's a 155 title fight. You know, Jordan Robinson's been on a tear the last couple of fights we've been to, so look forward to watching him fight again. Brian Kerr versus Joe Maani. That's a 155 pro fight. Always excited to watch Billy Poe fight. He's going to be fighting Randy Jones. And then for the main event, we got TJ Eskew versus Ben Sargent. It says it's a 195 pro fight. I'm not sure about that because Ben's way lighter than that. I know he's getting ready to try out for the Ultimate Fighter, so he'll be in shape and ready to fight. But I look forward to watching this show. Brandon always puts on a great event. So if you ain't got tickets, hit him up. I know he's got the event on Facebook. But don't miss this fight. It's going to be a good one. This is James Mon from MMA Therapy, your fix for all things MMA. That about wraps up another episode of MMA Therapy, your fix for all things MMA. You know, the next episode, we got a great show coming out. It's going to be a little special episode, so I look forward to hearing some feedback on that. Make sure and get out to the YouTube channel and subscribe to us. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook. Do everything that the cool kids do. Follow MMA Therapy. This is James Mon from MMA Therapy, and I'll see you at the fights.